What happens when one of America's wealthiest and oldest families turns against itself? The Dupont family, once synonymous with power, prestige, and immense wealth, has a darker side, a tale of greed, betrayal, and a bitter war over billions. Founded in 1802 as a gunpowder manufacturer, the Dupont dynasty grew to dominate industries like chemicals, plastics, and even nuclear energy, amassing a fortune that seemed untouchable. But behind the grandeur lies a fractured family whose battles have played out both in private and in courtrooms, captivating and shocking the world. At its height, the DuPont company controlled innovations like nylon, Teflon, and Kevlar, shaping modern industry and cementing the family's legacy. But as the wealth grew, so did the divisions. The family splintered into factions, with cousins suing cousins, siblings betraying one another, and alliances forming and dissolving faster than boardroom deals. The DuPont War wasn't just about money. It was about power, legacy, and control of one of the most influential empires in American history. How did a family that once symbolized unity and innovation turn into a battlefield? What led to these explosive feuds, and how did they impact the future of their $15 billion empire? This is the story of how old money can tear itself apart, revealing the hidden cracks beneath the polished facade of one of America's most famous families. The DuPont family is one of America's most famous dynasties, with a history stretching back over 2 centuries. Founded by Éluder Irénée Dupont in 1802, the family's fortune began with a gunpowder mill along the Brandywine River in Delaware. What started as a small business quickly grew into a powerhouse, with the DuPont company playing a pivotal role in supplying explosives during major wars, including the Civil War and World War I. By the early 20th century, the DuPont company had diversified, venturing into chemicals and creating groundbreaking products like nylon, invented in 1935, Teflon, and Kevlar. These innovations revolutionized industries ranging from fashion to defense, solidifying the family's status as one of America's wealthiest. But the DuPonts weren't just industrialists. They were also philanthropists, political influencers, and prominent figures in high society. They built sprawling estates, funded prestigious institutions like the University of Delaware, and even dabbled in politics. Pierre S. Dupont, for example, served as the president of the DuPont Company and was a key figure in shaping Delaware's economy during the early 20th century. Despite their success, the family's immense wealth and influence sowed the seeds of division. By the mid-1900s, the Dupont family had grown to include hundreds of heirs, each vying for their share of the fortune. Factions formed within the family, and the once united dynasty began to fracture under the weight of competing ambitions. Today, the DuPont name remains synonymous with innovation and wealth, but it also carries a legacy of conflict and betrayal that has captivated public attention for decades. The cracks in the DuPont family began to show as the fortune grew, but the real feuds exploded in the mid-20th century when questions of power and inheritance came to the forefront. With hundreds of heirs and billions at stake, the family's unity quickly dissolved into chaos. One of the earliest and most notable conflicts revolved around control of the DuPont company. By the 1940s, the company had become so massive that it was nearly impossible for a single person to wield total authority. Disputes arose over who should lead the company, with different branches of the family supporting rival candidates. Pierre S. Dupont, a dominant figure in the company's history, clashed with other family members over its direction, leading to bitter boardroom battles that left lasting scars. In addition to power struggles, inheritance disputes tore the family apart. The sheer size of the DuPont fortune meant that every will and trust became a battleground. Heirs fought over estates, with some accusing others of manipulating elderly family members to secure larger shares. Lawsuits became a regular occurrence, with cousins suing cousins over everything from business decisions to personal grudges. One of the most infamous disputes occurred in the 1970s, when several DuPont heirs took each other to court over the management of family trusts. These high-profile cases revealed the extent of the family's dysfunction, with dirty laundry aired in public and media coverage turning the DuPonts into a symbol of old money gone wrong. The DuPont wars weren't just about money. They were about pride, power, and the fear of losing control of a legacy that had defined the family for generations. The feuds within the Dupont family reached their peak in the late 20th century, a period marked by high-profile lawsuits and public scandals that rocked the family's image. By this time, the family had grown to include more than 4,000 members, many of whom had little connection to the original business. With so many heirs and such immense wealth, conflicts were inevitable. One of the most dramatic moments came in the 1980s when the DuPont company faced legal and environmental challenges. The company was accused of negligence in cases involving chemical spills and pollution, leading to massive lawsuits. While these cases were primarily directed at the corporation, the negative publicity further strained relationships within the family. Some members argued that the company's leadership had failed to protect its reputation, while others sought to distance themselves from the controversy entirely. Meanwhile, inheritance disputes escalated. The rise of trust fund babies within the family, descendants who lived lavish lifestyles without contributing to the business, created resentment among more active members. These tensions boiled over in courtrooms, where bitter lawsuits over estates and trusts became headline news. Perhaps the most shocking chapter in the family's history came with the John E. Dupont case in 1996. A reclusive heir, John became infamous for the murder of Olympic wrestler Dave Schultz at his Foxcatcher estate. The trial not only highlighted John's mental instability, but also cast a shadow over the entire family, raising questions about the pressures and isolation that come with immense wealth. These events marked a turning point for the DuPonts, transforming their image from a symbol of American success to a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked wealth and internal strife. The story of the DuPont family matters because it reveals the complexities and consequences of extreme wealth. As one of America's most prominent dynasties, the DuPonts have shaped industries, influenced politics, and left a lasting impact on society. But their internal conflicts also highlight the challenges that come with sustaining a legacy over generations. For one, the DuPont family's struggles underscore the difficulty of managing wealth across multiple generations. With hundreds of heirs and billions of dollars at stake, conflicts over power and inheritance were almost inevitable. The family's story serves as a reminder that wealth, while a source of opportunity, can also be a source of division and dysfunction. The environmental controversies surrounding the DuPont company also raise important questions about corporate responsibility. From chemical spills to allegations of worker exploitation, the company's actions have sparked debates about the ethics of pursuing profit at any cost. These issues remain relevant today, as businesses face increasing scrutiny over their impact on the environment and society. Finally, the DuPont family's story matters because it reflects broader themes of human nature: ambition, rivalry, and the struggle to maintain unity in the face of immense pressure. Their story is a microcosm of the challenges faced by any family, magnified by the scale of their wealth and influence. The DuPonts are more than just a symbol of old money. They are a case study in how power and privilege can both unite and destroy. Their legacy is a reminder that even the most successful families are not immune to conflict, and that the true measure of wealth lies in how it is managed and preserved. The story of the DuPont family war is a cautionary tale about the double-edged sword of immense wealth. From their beginnings as pioneers of the American Industrial Revolution to their fallouts over billions, the DuPonts have experienced both the heights of success and the depths of division. Their legacy is undeniably impressive. The DuPont company revolutionized industries, creating products that changed the world and amassing a fortune that most can only dream of. Yet, their internal conflicts reveal the challenges of sustaining such wealth and power over generations. Rivalries, lawsuits, and scandals have cast a shadow over their accomplishments, turning the DuPont name into both a symbol of innovation and a warning about the perils of unchecked ambition. As we reflect on their story, one question remains: could the DuPonts have avoided their internal wars, or were these conflicts inevitable given the scale of their fortune? And what lessons can other wealthy families learn from their rise and fall? The DuPont family story isn't just about money. It's about legacy, human nature, and the cost of holding on to power. While their empire endures in many ways, the scars of their battles serve as a reminder that even the greatest dynasties are not invincible.